Alright, what's up guys, Chocosura here, and we're back with another Secret of Mana Randomizer Seed of the Week. This is number 234, and for this week we have a Vanilla Long Seed for this weekly seed. Alright, so we do have 8 flags for this weekly seed, so let's go ahead and take a look at them and see what we are dealing with. Starting off, we have a sprite start, we have restrictive logic as always, we have hard complexity in play for this seed. So basically what this means is progression items can be placed in more obscure locations, they could be placed behind chains, they could be placed in lower priority checks. So we will have to keep that in mind for this seed. Hard complexity is a thing. What's also a thing is allow locked items. This says that not every item is going to be accessible. In other words, there could be some items that are locked out of the seed, which means you cannot access them no matter what you do. And this can apply to characters, this can apply to mana seeds, this can apply to elemental spirits. This can apply to weapons, this can apply to miscellaneous items like the Midge Mallet, the Sea Hare Tail, stuff like that. So any of those can be locked out of the seed and we will not have access to them at all. So what this means basically is we need to pay close attention to hints and see if they tell us what's not in the seed or what's not available. We also have no trash weapons. It is self-explanatory. No trash weapons means that we won't be seeing any trash weapons forged from Watts. Usually Watts has a very low chance of forging a trash weapon. We will not be seeing any trash weapons on this run, thanks to this flag. We also have low chest drops, so chests will have a lower probability of dropping than they normally do. We also have enemy type status ailments. And last but not least, we have MP Restore at level up disabled. So what this means is our spells, when we cast our spells, when we level up, we will not be getting an MP refill, just like in Vanilla Secret of Mana. So we will have to be careful of this flag. This basically says that you need to use your spells, more importantly, use your MP wisely, because you only have a certain amount of walnuts. If we find Luna, that would be huge. But if we don't find Luna, or worst case scenario, Luna is locked out of the seed, then we will have to rely on fairy walnuts and ends to restore our MP. So we have to be very careful of this flag, especially since we're starting out with the sprite. This also means that we will probably want to find some mana seeds and level up our magic as high as it can go. And I'll probably mention that during the run. So yeah, we got a pretty nasty combination of flags here. MP Restore disabled, allow locked items, hard complexity. Those three together can make this seed pretty miserable, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what gets locked out. You know, we'll see what items are where. So hopefully this seed isn't too bad, but we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so yeah, like I finished saying, we have to be extremely careful of our consumption on this seed. This means we do not want to be casting spells all willy-nilly. Okay, axe start is actually pretty nice, which means we don't have to go searching for a cutting weapon since we start out with one. Okay, strength and perfect hit rate is nice. And I think that last thing I saw was chance to confuse, I think. All right. So first thing I'm going to do, we're going to grab this chest, we're going to check the shop, and then we're going to head out to Rabbi Forest and grab the hint there. Because we have the axe, we can get to it. Okay, Salamander is not needed for Grand Palace, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay. Duck Helm and Tiger Suit there. Alright, so we're gonna step out here, grab this hint because we can get to it since we have a cutting weapon. Trap Flowers, I'm actually gonna take this. Ooh. These guys are dropping barrels. Hmm. Okay, Sylphid in a warm place. Alright, so Sylphid could be in the Fire Palace, or could be behind the Sea Hare Tail. And we got a couple of barrel drops from those guys, which is actually pretty huge because barrels sell for 300 gold. Alright, 4 elements needed for Grand Palace. Good to know. Boomerang is late. Smack that guy. Okay, Sea Hare's Tail in a treasure room. Okay, so... Ow, God, you gotta be kidding me. This guy actually petrified me. That's that enemy type status ailments coming into play right there. Come on. Alright, I need to swing as soon as I get out. There we go. And we leveled up, so we don't have to worry about low HP. Alright, Water Seed in the town. Let's be careful of these guys, because they're kind of random as to when they attack you. And Sylphid needed. Okay, so that's actually good information, because we know where Sylphid could be. And on top of that, we know where the Sea Hare Tail is. So if Sylphid is behind the Sea Hare Tail, we know where to get it. Okay, Bo is in a forgotten land. I need to watch out for these damn cockatrices. Can you stop? Can you stop? Like, holy crap. Getting beat up by damn Eggatrices. I'm actually glad they didn't petrify me there because I think I would have been screwed if I got petrified. Yeah, Eggatrices are usually not bad to deal with, except if you're, if you have no armor and you get close to them and they start pecking you, they can petrify you. Okay, Dryad Seed. Okay, nothing there. Sylphid for Earth Palace. Good to know. Probably gonna check the armor shop here. We do have 3 barrels we can sell. So hopefully I can grab something here. I don't think I'm safe splitting here. Ew. Oh no. I could get this. Yeah, we'll get this. We'll grab that. So all we need now is a helmet for the sprite. We'll grab this. And you know what? I might just do a cheeky play here and go to Witch's Castle. I might just do it. I'm thinking about it. Because we can actually do Witch's Castle right now. And we can grab a hint out of there too. Speaking of hints, I want to drop by the shop and then grab the hint out of from the outside there. Oh, spiky suit. That's unfortunate. Can we get that? Nah. It's out of our price range, unfortunately. That golem ring might have been a pretty ambitious purchase, actually. Can we get a barrel from this guy? Nope. Okay, so nothing on that hint. I feel like being a little cheeky here. I'm going to go to Witch's Castle. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. No healing items. I do have a golem ring, so maybe that'll be enough. I probably should save though. Yeah, I probably should save. I'll save inside Witch's Castle. There's a Nico in the jail there. I don't know if this is a good play or not, but I have the opportunity to do it. Plus, we can get a hint from the Nestleberries, so hopefully the hint is good. I probably should kill stuff to level up here to level 3. Just to get full HP. That's okay. Yeah, I kind of want to get level 3 before I save if I can. Maybe not. There we go. Just to get an HP refill. I don't have any healing items, so I'm not going to buy any healing items. I don't think I need them. I hope I don't. Alright, save. Like I said, this is kind of an ambitious play. Not really. I'm honestly doing this just to see what's here. I'm curious. It's also hard complexity too, so there is that. Maybe we'll get lucky, maybe we won't. Alright, what do you say? Girl is mid. Okay. So girl is mid. Good to know. Ah. Of course it is. We should be fine though. I just gotta smack him. He's out of MP. Ow. Alright, I want to try to stand in the perfect spot here. I think I found it. Yeah, right here. It's perfect. There we go. Very nice. Now, whether this will be worth it, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, we get a Spears Orb. We know that the girl is in mid-game. Okay, there's the Moogle Belt. And, ooh, that's Gnome, though. Gnome is nice. Gnome is really nice, actually. And we know the girl is mid, too, so... I honestly think we just go to Moogle Village here. I kind of want to find the girl. Because if we find the girl, then we can use speed up and move through areas faster. Okay, Water Seed and the glove. Wow. All right, so let's play me out. Two seeds, gnome, the glove. $1,200. What am I at? 8 MP. Oh, let me check the shop. Raccoon Cap is here. It's nice. Yeah, we'll take it. Okay, so we know the Sea Hare's tail is in the treasury. I'm gonna stop by Mara real quick. Maybe the girl's here. I don't know. I kind of want to find her. Okay, more money from Mara, which is nice. We know Silpet's in a warm place. Oh, wow. Dang, Tiger Cap is here. I'm taking this, though, for sure. Tiger Cat can wait. I'm not going to blow all my money right now. Okay, so Sprite should be fine for a while. I'm honestly thinking of just doing Pandora Ruins here, but... I kind of want to find Prim. We'll go to... Actually, no. Check Moon Palace. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is get this glove to level 1 real fast. I might need 4 of these guys. Why are you running? There we go. Alright, so glove level 1. Girl is probably not free. We might have to fight a boss to get to her. Luna. Okay, so Luna required for that. I kind of want to just go to Fire Palace here. We check this. Also, at some point, I want to get my gnome to level 2. Okay, that's Dryad. We can't do that. What we can do is get that first chest out of logic by hopping the wall here. Gotta kill these bees first, though. There we go. Wow, okay, so Sylphid's locked behind Dryad. So Sylphid is out of logic for sure. And this is Luna. Alright, so we can't do anything about that. So now we know that Sylphid is not behind the Sea Hairtail. The Sea Hairtail has something else. Okay, let's go to Turtle Isle. I think I'm gonna give up looking for the girl for now because chances are she's hidden behind a boss. So she could be like Northtown Castle, Northtown Ruins. She could be behind vampires. She could be at Frostgiggers for all we know. So we do know she's mid-game though. Okay, Mandala. At least we know what part of the game to look for. Alright, so now our route is Dark Palace, Tasnica, Lighthouse, and Sunken Continent after that. Okay, Mech 3 is nothing. Upperland for Glove, we already got that. Tower Key is nowhere. Okay, so the Tower Key is locked out of the seed, which means the Light Palace is locked out of the seed completely. So everything in there is locked up. Alright, Sword is late. Gnome, Witch's Castle, we already got that. I wonder how good that Witch's Castle play was though, because we got Gnome out of there as well as the Moogle Belt. The Moogle Belt we don't really care about too much, but Gnome could be important. So I kind of want to know how good that Witch's Castle play really was. I don't know. I really only did it just for hard complexity purposes. And to get a hint from the Nestle Berry. The Nestle Berry usually has more powerful hints. And the earlier you can get to the Nestle Berry, the better. So that's another reason why I did it. Alright, Boom Orb. What about? You grab the portcullis chest. The whip is here. Okay, that's actually huge. Because now we don't have to go looking for that. We're gonna head up here, grab these 2 hints, see what Jock and Jack say. Smack this guy. I feel as though information on the seed is very powerful. There's a ninja right here, I think. Oh, never mind. He never spawned. Okay, nothing. And looking at chest for the whip. Okay, thanks, guys. You useless morons. All right, so we learned nothing there. Okay. We're going to go to Sunken Continent. We know Sylph is required. Oh, actually, no. We'll go to Lighthouse first, then Sunken Continent. We know Sylph is required for Grand Palace. We know 4 elementals are required. We also have Gnome. Okay, there's the boomerang. Sure. Okay, girl is mid. Sword is late. Bow is on Sunken Continent. So chances are the girl's gonna come in with either the javelin or the spear. And then the boy has the other of the 2 weapons. More than likely. Alright, we're gonna peek these first 2 orb rooms and see if we can learn any information as to what else is required. And oh my god, that Witch's Castle play was huge. Holy crap. Gnomes required. Wow. That Witch's Castle play was absolutely huge. Okay. Now what we can do is check the next 2 rooms. But yeah, that play paid off big time. Okay, Sylphid, we have that too. We can knock out half of these orb rooms already. 23 minutes into the seed. Alright, we check this side. Okay, that's a shade room. Alright, that's good information. Now we know shade's required. So we gotta find shade at some point. Okay, let me see if I can hit this. There we go. I don't want to get ballooned by that guy. Okay, we're gonna put this on. There we go. We check this side because it's open. We'll grab that chest in a second. Another gnome room. Okay, so that makes 4. Orb rooms activated already. Grab this. There's the bow. Can't do that yet, so we rope out. Kill this. I'm not trying to get silenced here. Alright, so yeah, we learned a lot of information there. We know that shade's required, and we know that gnome's required. Okay, now we know that 4 elementals are required. We know of 3 of them. So, let's see. What's unaccounted for is Undine, Lumina, Luna, and Dryad. Alright, so I think we just go to Ice Country here. Yeah, I think I'll go to Ice Country here. We have the whip. Okay, Moogle Belt, we already got that. Jab Orb. Before I go to Ice Palace, I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of time to level up my gnome and Sylphid to level 2, which honestly shouldn't take too long because I think gnome's level 1 already. I got what, 4 MP left? Yeah. Alright, so we're going to head out here real fast. We'll get gnome to level 2, and we'll get Sylphid to level 2 as well. Okay, gnome's level 2. I guess I'll check the shop while I'm here. I also should probably get a fairy walnut or 2. Ooh, okay, ivies are here, which is nice. I can't afford it though. We'll grab 1 walnut for now. Another reason I want to complete Ice Palace now is because we know that the girl is mid. And for all we know, she could be in there, but we don't know. Okay, save. We are going to head back out here and level up our Sylphid. We need 7 spells. I've already cast 1, I think, so I think I need 6 actually. It doesn't matter if I multi-target here. Mimic boxes can't get confused anyway. They're immune to it. There we go. Alright, so Sylphid's level 2. Do I forge? Nah, we're not gonna forge. I could. Actually, let me see if I have any int weapons. I think I do. Yeah, the gloves int, the strength, con stone, bow is int as well. Boomerang is agility stone. Okay. Good enough for me. Alright, so now we head to Ice Palace. We full clear it. And then from there, I think we just go to Northtown and full clear that. And we shouldn't have any issues with level 2 magic here. We are level 5, I think. But yeah, I think going to Witch's Castle was a huge play. Because eventually, okay, there's Lumina. Eventually, we would have learned that Gnome would be required. And eventually, we would have learned where Gnome was at. Because we got a hint saying Gnome was at Witch's Castle. So the seed eventually tells you where to get Gnome. Alright, I want to put on the glove here. Oh, put on the bow actually. Either or is fine, doesn't matter. Okay, this is Mech 2. Yeah. I should only need 2 of these to kill. Or maybe not, I need 3. Actually, no, you know what? I might be close. Yeah, I was close. I thought so. I don't want to waste another spell there. Oh, okay, there's girl. Excellent. Excellent. And she came with the spear, just as I thought. Okay, I do not have armor for you, though, I don't think. No, I don't. So I gotta be very careful with you, baby girl. I don't want you dying now. We also have Lumina, too, which is nice. Matter of fact, I think for this next fight, we put on the gloves for her. And we cast right along with Sprite. Depends what this is, though. Oh, Snack. Okay, we got you. Got you, Mr. Snack. Oh, you didn't die. There we go. I might have rolled low, I don't know. Okay, Dog Seed. Dog Seed's nice. Alright, so Dog Seed acquired. Dog Seed pedestals now on Logic. We flaming out. I need to go get this girl some armor. So let me go to North Town. And see if I can get anything here. Okay, we get blurfed by Chrissy, unfortunately, so she has nothing for us. She usually never does. Okay, 1,300 gold. Power Wrist is a good start. We take that. Wolfsbane is here, but that's not necessary. I need to sleep. Sleep, save, and we check Northtown Castle. I'm gonna come back to sleep anyway after I grab these chests, so it shouldn't be a bad idea to level up my silver magic again here. Alright, level orb. 2,000 bucks. That's actually huge. We take that. Rope out. Okay, Super just hit 3. We work on this. Okay, Gnome just hit 3. Sword Orb. Rope out. Actually gonna go to Southtown real quick. We'll get Prim some armor. Sprite is fine. We're not worried about him. He's got Raccoon Cap. He's got Golem Ring. He's got Chest Guard. He's good. Prim, however, is not. So I need to get something on her. Not to mention the inn here is cheaper. Not by much, but it's cheaper regardless. Okay, we're not going to save there. We're going to save in Northtown. Okay, so we go Tiger Cap, we go Chest Guard. Walnuts. Herbs. And eventually I'll get Sprite a tiger cap too. Eventually. Alright, so we got armor on the girl now, so we go back to Northtown, we save, we actually save split. Northtown Castle. Uh 9 MP. Yeah. Speed up should be running off anytime now. Yeah, there it is. Vampire. Alright, we got you. I honestly kind of want to keep that spell experience on Lumina. I kind of do. But then again, I have to go back to town if I do that. Or use a walnut, which I don't have to use a walnut here. Jav orb and nothing. Yeah, we reset out of that. That's a hard reset. Spell experience be damned. We check Mech 2, see what's there. I'm not really worried about leveling Lumina up so much as keeping speed up on Prem. Oh, you would walk over there. Okay. Nice. Alright, so right now we are looking for Shade. Because we know Shade's required. We don't know what the fourth elemental is. I'm kind of hoping it's Lumina. But it could be any of Undini or Dryad or Luna. Okay, there's the Moon Seed. We can't turn that in because we don't have Luna, so we're gonna just pop right back on down here and drop a save and sleep. Alright, so we go to Northtown Ruins, we full clear that. And then after that, I'm probably going to Pandora Ruins. Okay. At some point, I think I want to just level up Prim's gnome to like 3. Just so I don't have to cast speed up all the time. And it stays on her longer. Yeah. Might just do it right now, actually. Alright, Mage Mallet. Really glad I got gnome before coming in here. Because that makes running through here a lot faster. Not a lot faster, but significantly faster. A lot of aquatic enemies in here. We got water thugs and fish in here, dino fish in here. Huh. So really all we need to do is find out what that last elemental is that's required for Grand Palace. Because we know Shade's required. We just have to find them from somewhere. More aquatic enemies. We got ducks in here too. How about that? Y'all need to find a pond somewhere. Instead of trying to kill me, Acid Storm. It's on Sprite. Okay, Doom's Wall. All right. I'm really hoping I don't have to step into Pure Land this seed, but I don't know. I really hope I don't. Boom Orb and Spear Orb. Okay, nothing there. Nothing there, unfortunately. Midge Malin mid. Thanks, Dialuck, you useless bum. I don't know what Prim ever saw in you. Hexes. Okay. Okay, Prim's out of MP. You might want a Walnut here, actually. I think I am, yeah. '84. There we go. Yeah, we had to use the Walnut there, unfortunately, which sometimes you just can't avoid it. Hexes is a boss that has, more HP than other bosses, has more magic defense. All right, Spear's Orb, and okay, there's Shade. Excellent, excellent. All right, so Shade is there. I'm almost tempted to go back to Grand Palace and pop that Shade room. Matter of fact, I think that's probably a good idea because we don't know what else is required right now. And maybe the Grand Palace will tell us. But before I do that, we're going to go ahead and do Pandora Ruins here. Since I'm already here, I came here to save and sleep, but I'm already here, so I might as well just do it. That's 7 checks. Maybe we'll find an Undini somewhere. We may find Luna. We may find Dryad. Who knows? Luna would be pretty massive if we find her. Honestly, I think I might just play check density, but I'm not sure if I can even do Pure Land right now. Let's do Gem Missile here. Wow, you're actually not dead. Okay. Interesting. There we go. I might have rolled low on that Gem Missile. That last Gem Missile I rolled low. Looks like I did. Yeah, I'm thinking... Let me see what's in Treasury. We know the Sea Hare Tail is in the Treasury for sure. We don't know what else is in there though. Okay, Whip Orb and 200 bucks. And then I think the play is to go back to Grand Palace and trigger that Shade Orb because we need to know what that last elemental is. And going to Grand Palace is our best bet of finding out. Okay. I also probably should level up my Shade Magic at some point too. Alright, there's that. We knew that was there. Jab Orb. Jab Orb. Glove Orb. Axe Orb. Boom Orb. Okay, so just the Sea Hare Tail there. Before I go, I want to sleep. We can turn in the Sea Hare Tail and see what it gets us. Alright, save. I want to see how many walnuts I have. 1. Alright, so... I'm going to need more for sure. We go to Grand Palace. Well, let me turn in the Sea Hare Tail and then I'll go to Grand Palace. Let's see what that gets us first. So we'll head on over here. We'll turn in the Sea Hairtail, see what that gets us, and then we go to Grand Palace. See if we can find out what that last orb is. Oh, yeah, what that last room is. Okay, there's Salamando. That's nice. Not required for Grand Palace, though, but it's just nice to have. I know I took a god-awful route to get over here, but that's okay. Nah, let me not use any magic right now. Our purpose is to find out what that last orb is. Because we know we need 4 elementals, we don't know what the 4th one is. And coming in here, as I said earlier, is our best chance of learning what it is. Yeah, we triggered that one. That was Sylphid. I honestly might just go Pure Land after this. Okay, so that's triggered. We triggered 5 rooms so far. We triggered 1 room up here too. The one on the left. We gotta trigger the one on the right if we can. It might be the last room that we need. Dryad. Okay. Good information. So now we know that Dryad's required. Let me think. Yeah, I'm thinking to just play check density here. But before I go to Pure Land, which has the highest number of checks right now available, I want to level up my magic to level 4. I want to especially level up Shade and Salamander. I'll start with Shade. We also want to level up Shade in case we run across any bosses that use walls, such as Mech 3 or Watermelon. We also want to level up Shade in order to kill Dread Slime faster once we get to Mana Fortress. I'm going to work on this a little bit. Okay. But yeah, I will say this is a very interesting seed so far, for sure. And we're not going to save yet. Okay, so Shade just hit 4. Whoops. Okay, speed up just hit 4. Screw it. Cast Lightsaber. I'm not interested in getting Lumina up at this point. I'll use it during boss fights if I need to. So Lumina can stay at level 1 for right now. Although it will make the most sense to use it now, though. would make the most sense to use it right now, though. I mean, since I'm going back and forth to the end to restore MP anyway, it makes the most sense to use Lumina now to get it up as high as I can. I don't think I'm getting Lumina to level 4 though, but I'll see where it ends up after Salamendo gets to 4. I'm gonna explode it here. But yeah, the reason why I'm leveling up all my magic is, again, we want to use as few MP as possible during each boss fight while doing as much damage as we can. That's the main reason why we're doing this. We haven't found Luna yet, so we're going to have to rely on walnuts for MP restoration. Okay, Salamander just hit 4. We're gonna refresh speed up here on her. Okay. Alright, Lumina just hit level 3. She can stay at level 3, honestly. Alright, so now we want to play check density. So we're gonna go to Kakara first. We'll grab... Actually, I might not have the money to do it. 2300 gets me 4 walnuts. I might need 5. Let me see what I have to sell real quick. I don't think I have anything to sell. Well, this not gonna give me much money though. Yeah. Okay, so 5 walnuts. I don't like it though. I don't like it though. We'll try because we do have a level 3 Lucent Beam, so maybe that'll help. We'll see. Let's go to Pure Land. Maybe 5 walnuts is all I need. I hope it is. I really hope 5 walnuts is enough for 6 bosses. Alright, Spring Beak, we need 2 of these. Pretty sure it's 2, right? Yeah. But yeah, like I said, we want to kill these bosses in as few spell casts as possible. We don't want to be spending an eternity casting magic because our MP restoration is very limited. Okay, there's the Earth Seed. We take that. Sprite's got 7 MP. Yep. Tiger. All right, we got a walnut after this. Prim still has full MP, which is fine. Whip orb, nothing. We just hit level 13, which is kind of annoying because now we have 12 max MP. And I do not want a walnut for 1 MP. I really don't. I need the walnut sprite here though, before I forget. Vampire? Okay, yo, no, this is good though. This is good. I'm gonna focus on this though. Nice. That's actually perfect. So leveling up Lumina actually did pay off here because I don't plan on using walnuts on Prim. I don't need to. The walnuts are mainly for Sprite. Okay, Bose Orb and Boom Orb. Alright, 10 MP on Sprite. Hopefully it's enough to kill the next boss. I don't know. Okay, Prim is out of MP. We did refresh speed up on her though. Hexes. Alright, that's actually a good hit from her. We take those all day. Level 5. Alright, so far so good. We've only used 1 walnut. I have to use 1 right here though, so 2. So maybe 5 is enough. Alright, Jab Orb, Whip Orb. We walnut on Sprite. We're down to 3. That's just to get some extra cash. A little bit of extra cash. Tabacalo? Yep. Okay. Let's just do this then. Sprite's taking a bit of damage here. I might have to upgrade him to Tiger Cap after this. Sword Orb and Bow Orb. Okay, Spice got what, 5 MP? 7. Okay. 7 MP and 3 walnuts. We're in fine shape. We're okay. We got one more boss left. Ooh. I don't like this though. Okay, so 7 MP. We're gonna throw out 2 Dark Forces here. And then we wait until he casts Wall. I'm gonna have to walnut here regardless though. Okay, there's the wall. The walnut spray. That's a wall. Yep. I probably should not be casting Air Blast here, actually. I'm gonna do it anyway. Wall, yep. I'll follow it up with a Thunderbolt. We finished him with melee. If I can. There we go, he's dead. And that is the reason why we leveled up Shade. Because if I didn't level up Shade, it would take more Dispel casts to get rid of his wall. His wall was level 2. Which means I would need to cast Dispel 3 times at level 0. And we don't want to be spending extra MP doing that. Alright, Spear's Orb, Axe Orb. So there's really nothing here aside from the Earth Seed. There might be something at the Mana Tree, I don't know. I gotta check my money. Wow, Dryad's at the Mana Tree. Of course she is, because why not? Okay, 2 walnuts. 6,700 gold. We should be fine. We flaming out. We go to Southtown, pick up a Tiger Cap for Sprite. Actually, hold on. Before I do that. Before I do that. Of course, he walks up there. I'm actually gonna get 2 of these. Okay, we sell this. We sell this. Tiger Cap is 1,100, so we get. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4 walnuts. I can get 5 actually. Yeah, I can get 5. We got those, got those. I'm gonna sell the raccoon cap once I get to Southtown. We'll sleep. Play me out. Go to Southtown, pick up a Tiger Cap for the Sprite. We leave, we go to Grand Palace. I'm not surprised that Dryad was at the Mana Tree because it's hard complexity. I'm really not surprised at all. Okay, we sell this. Grab this. And we should be good. We got 6 walnuts. No, we have 7 walnuts. We have a full stack. We may end up using 2 in Grand Palace. I don't know. 2, maybe 3. 3 at the most. Our spells are pretty high level. We've got level 3 Lucent Beam on Prim. We've got level 5 spells on Sprite, so we should be in good shape. We definitely should be in good shape. Dryad is not going to be used for the rest of the seed, except for popping this crystal orb and maybe casting wall. Alright, so that Dryad room should be on the 3rd floor. Yeah. Alright, so we do that. Alright, speed up's gone, that's fine. If we're lucky, we can get sub 130, a sub hour and a half. If we're lucky, we might be able to. Don't do that. Okay, so this leaves us with 10 MP to fight the boss with. Oh, Minotaur. Oh, we got you. We got you. I think I need 2, right? Yep. Man, I hear that wind outside my house, and it is just roaring out there. I mean, they said that the wind was gonna pick up to like, it's possible for wind gusts to be like 40, 50 miles an hour, and it's like 15 degrees outside where I'm at. All right, made the sand. We got you too, buddy. But yeah, they were saying that the wind chills here where I'm at could get as low as like -10 to -20. So I am not going outside today for any reason. And thankfully, I'm off of work today, so I have no reason to go out today. Okay, I might have to walnut here. There's a Squirging Bull, unfortunately. 260. Ow. I'm not close enough, unfortunately. That's fine. You good? Nope, one more. There we go. But yeah, this winter has been pretty brutal so far. I mean, we've been dealing with giga cold temperatures. We had a pretty bad snowstorm a couple of weeks ago. And I'm sure, you know, some of y'all can relate because this storm has hit a big portion of the country. All right, rope out. We are going to, let me see, how much money do we have? 7K. I didn't see gold invest anywhere. I think we just go to Southtown, buy a walnut. We want to make sure we have a full stock of 7 walnuts before going into the Mana Fortress, because many of these walnuts are going to be used on Mana Beast. So we definitely want to make sure we have a full stock. Get some chocolates while I'm here. I don't need anything else, right? No. No, I'm good. But thankfully, we're supposed to get a little bit of a warm-up this week, or this upcoming week, so maybe some of this ice can melt. I mean, it already has started to melt, but it's basically over the last week, it's been doing this, you know, back and forth thing where it melts a little bit and then it refreezes overnight because it gets so cold. Like, the street I live on was absolutely horrible. Like, once that storm hit, and even like a week after the storm hit, the streets were just absolutely horrible. Like, the main roads were clear, but the street where I live on is just terrible as far as, you know, driving. I don't know if I've said this on a previous video, but I absolutely hate wintertime. I really do. I'm a guy that likes summer. Spring and summer. And to be honest, I would rather deal with the heat than the cold. Okay, blue spike. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a really good hit. We take that. I can't cast it in time. No. I was going to cast wall here, but I don't want to risk soft lock on my game. So we're just going to wait. We'll wait until I get to Dread Slime, then I'll cast wall. Or better yet, I cast wall before I get there. Luna? Nope, of course not. How much MP did we use there? About half. Alright, so we got 7. So that's 2 Dark Forces. I actually want to cast this now. I'm looking at the enemies in here. some pretty annoying enemies like heckhounds, fierce heads. They can cast stuff on you. I shouldn't need too many more of these. Yep. We want to make sure we go into the Mana Beast fight with at least 5 walnuts. 5 should be enough. What are we, level 20? 21? I think we're level 21. No, level 20. Okay. We just hit level 20. Alright, nothing there. So we have, I think, 16 MP. Yeah. Yeah, I see some not so friendly enemies in here. We got crawlers that can cast sleep on us. We've got zombies that can slow us. Fierce heads that can cast stuff too. Embermen that can cast stuff on us too. But luckily we got through there without having to deal with that. Okay. I'm gonna explode it here. All right. So if I pull this off, we should get sub hour and a half. We want to walnut sprite. We want to shrink ourselves. Alright, so we do this. Ooh, did that register? Oh, he's dead. All right, so GG. Just playing around at the end there. All right, so we should get 127, 11, maybe 12, maybe 13, 14. Okay. All right, so 127.14 is our time for the seed. Yeah, this is definitely a seed where you have to use your MP wisely. You have to. Otherwise, you're gonna have to either walnut more than you need to, and slash, or you're going to have to go back and sleep, or you're going to have to fight with weapons. Which, I mean, that is an option on the seed. You could just forego the whole MP restoration at level up. You could do that. Forge up a good weapon and then use Gnome to, you know, do fast charges and whatnot. You could do that. So I'm not saying that's not a good option, because it is an option that you can do. But the issue with that is you don't have Luna to amplify those charged attacks. That's the only issue with that strat. Because if we had Luna, and Luna honestly could have been anywhere, could have been, you know, like doppelgangers or behind the dark seed or whatever. Luna could have been anywhere, like I said. Or worst case scenario, Luna is locked out of the seed. That is the absolute worst case scenario, because if Luna was locked out of the seed, that means you have no access to her. So yeah, I mean, like I said, using weapons on the seed is an option, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's a bad option. I'm not saying it's a bad option. It's an option. But I decided to use magic instead. So I feel as though magic is probably quicker here than using weapons. But I don't know. I feel as though you have a disadvantage using weapons on this seed because you don't have Luna, or someone may have found Luna on some other check that I didn't do, so maybe weapons may edge out over magic in that aspect, but I don't know. We can't really say because we don't know where Luna is. All right, so anywho, starting out, do your freebies. We grab the Dryad Seed, we grab the Water Seed for free. Both of those are free. We started up with the Sprite with an axe, so that opens up a couple of more free checks. In Dark Palace, where we found the Whip. We also found, what was it? I think we also, well, we learned, I should say, we learned that Sylphid was required, and we learned where Sylphid was. So given those two hints, you can deduce that Sylphid is either in the Fire Palace or behind the Sea Hair Tail. And the hints also tell you where the Sea Hair Tail is. So yeah, I feel as though you kind of have to go for those, because you know Sylphid's required. You're going to have to go for them anyway. So doing Pandora Treasury for the Sea Hair Tail, unfortunately it wasn't behind the Sea Hair Tail, it was Salamando behind the Sea Hair Tail, but Salamando had its uses. And that's why I decided to check Fire Palace, because I knew Sylphid was there. There was a high chance that Sylphid was there. So I went to Fire Palace, and I wanted to grab that first chest out of logic. And thankfully, Sylphid was in that first chest. What the seed wanted you to do, ultimately what the seed wants you to do, is to go to Pure Land, clear it, to full clear Pure Land, go to the Mana Tree, get Dryad, and then go to the Fire Palace, trigger the first orb, which was a Dryad orb, and then get Sylphid. That's what the seed wanted you to do. But the seed also gives you the glove for free. So getting the glove for free, I'm like, okay, what if we just get this chest out of logic? So those runners who got the silver chest out of logic are going to be very happy, because then they won't have to search the seed for Dryad. Well, we had to search the seed for Dryad anyway, because we had no information on where Dryad was. Also, I decided to do an early Witch's Castle play for two reasons. One, we had the axe, and two, it was hard complexity. So I wanted to just get that check out of the way. I wanted to see what was there. I also wanted to grab the Nestleberry hint, because Nestleberry hints usually, not all the time, but usually are more powerful than the other hints in the game. Sometimes they're garbage, but sometimes they're not garbage. So that's another reason why I wanted to do Witch's Castle right then and there, is to get that Nestleberry hint. And that Nestleberry hint told us that the girl was in mid-game. Now, the girl wasn't required for anything, because we didn't need Lumina for anything. We didn't need, she didn't come in with like the sword or the whip or anything like that. So she wasn't hard required, but she helps out because you're given information where Gnome is. You're flat out told that Gnome is in the Witch's Castle, and you have the axe. So I feel as though if the player sees, or when the player finds the girl, if the player finds the girl, I feel as though they should make Witch's Castle a priority. And Witch's Castle ended up being required, because you go down to Sunken Continent, you go into Grand Palace, you look in those first two orb rooms, and you find out that, oh, I need Gnome. So Gnome is required, and the seed tells you exactly where Gnome is. So eventually you're going to have to go to Witch's Castle on the seed. And going there earlier is better. If the player does what I did and goes to Witch's Castle super early, now keep in mind we did not have any knowledge of Gnome at that point. I decided to go just to see what was there and to grab the Nestleberry hint. That's the only reason why I went. And because it was hard complexity too. So we ended up with Gnome and the Moogle Belt, and then I learned, oh, Gnome's required. And then we get a hint saying, oh, Gnome's at the Witch's Castle. Okay, so we really didn't have to do Witch's Castle when we did, but I'm actually glad we did, because then I could check other orb rooms in Grand Palace. So Gnome being required for those first two rooms was absolutely huge. Finding Gnome was huge before even going in there. And that allowed us to learn that Shade was required. So then we had to go look for Shade. And then my thought process was, all right, it's hard complexity. I have a whip. I want to full clear Ice Palace to get it out of the way. Not to mention, as I just said, it's hard complexity. There could be something at Frost Gigas. The seed could be cheeky enough to put something there that's required. So we want to check it and get it out of the way so we don't have to come back. Thankfully, we found the girl there. We got a hint that the girl was mid, so that's another reason why I wanted to check Ice Palace. I wanted to find the girl. We also found Lumina in the Ice Palace too, so that's also pretty nice to have. It pretty much gives you an incentive, gives you more incentive to find the girl, because Lumina could be required to get through Grand Palace. Of course it wasn't, but you never know. So after finding the girl, we pressed on to the Frost Giga spot, killed the snake there. We got the, what was it, the Dark Seed? Now, while I could have checked that, I felt as though I had other priorities. I went to Northtown. I wanted to go to Northtown before doing that, because I wanted to just get those checks out of the way, especially Northtown Ruins. I wanted to get those checks out of the way. Same reason why I did Ice Palace. We want to just go through there in one go, get all the free checks there, kill Doom's Wall spot, kill Vampire spot, see what we find. If we don't find anything, that's fine. We go check other locations. Thankfully, we found Shade there as well as the Midge Mallet. And Midge Mallet did come in handy at the end. Also, it came in handy when leveling spells. Now, speaking of leveling spells, I feel as though this is a seed where you definitely want to level up your spells as high as they can go. And as I've been saying throughout the seed, you want to spend as few MP as possible while doing as much damage as possible. And the way you do that is to level up your spells to as high as they can go. I think we had 4 mana seeds for the majority of the run. Well, we had 2 actually, then we ended up with 3, then 4, and eventually we ended up with 5. So yeah, getting your spells up to like level 3, level 4, and then killing bosses by using the cheapest spells you have. That's why I decided to stick with Gem Missile or Air Blast or Fireball. Fireball out of those spells is the strongest as far as spell power. Fireball has a spell power of 52, whereas Air Blast and Gem Missile have spell powers of 43. So Fireball in general is going to do more damage than Gem Missile or Air Blast. So that's one reason why you want to use Fireball over those other 2 spells. Unless you're fighting something that's weak to Gem Missile or weak to Air Blast, then sure, use those. But if you're fighting something that has no weakness, then Fireball is your best bet. Unless, you have Burst or something, or you have Luna, which we didn't. Or if you have Freeze, which we didn't. We never found Undini. So Freeze would have been really nice to have this seed, honestly, because Freeze has a spell power of 61. So Freeze is pretty much like the second best spell in the game, next to Burst, as far as damage. Freeze is also half as cheap as Burst too. So unfortunately, we never found Undini. So it is what it is. So yeah, that's why I decided to level up my spells, is to just do as much damage as I can while spending as few MP as I can. Because remember, MP Restore at level up is disabled, so you do not get an MP refill after you level up, which means you're forced to use Walnuts, or you're forced to go sleep at an inn after every fight, or you're forced to find Luna. Unfortunately, we never found Luna, so what else could we do? We had to spend money on Walnuts. That's the only thing we could do. And this is also a seed where I feel as though this seed will punish a player if they use their spells unwisely, if they use their spells all willy-nilly, and if they chain cast too much. I feel as though this seed can punish a player in that aspect. Because this is one of those seeds where you don't want to chain cast until you're out of MP. You want to chain cast just enough to either get the boss to low HP where you can finish them off with weapons, and that was the case in a few cases, or you just want to use just enough MP to kill the boss. You don't need to go overboard. You don't need to go, cast your spells until you run out of MP. You don't have that luxury this seed. You can't. And when you're going through places that have multiple bosses such as Pure Land or Grand Palace, Mana Fortress, you want to save your walnuts. You want to use your walnuts wisely, because a Pure Land especially is notorious for this. Because if you run yourself out of walnuts and you're not done with Pure Land, guess what you have to do? You have to leave. You have to go back and buy some more. And then when you go back, you have to start at the very beginning and run through there again. So that takes up a lot of time. And that's why I say, if you're going to do Pure Land, you need to run, or you need at least 5 walnuts, at least. and high level spells. Yeah, so but other than that, this seed wasn't too bad. I can't say for certain if Luna was locked out of the seed. We know that the tower key was locked out because we were told that. Um, and then automatically that tells you, hey, okay, Light Palace has nothing I need. Light Palace, anything that's in there is going to be locked out of the seed. So whatever's in Light Palace, we don't know what's in there. We can't get in there to find out. Whatever's in there is locked out. We have no access to it. For all we know, the tower key could be in the Light Palace. And that's what allow locked items can do. It can kind of break logic. Well, not break logic, but it can alter the logic in such a way that you cannot get access to certain items. Like the tower key, for instance. We don't know where it is, but we do know that it's inaccessible. So chances are that the tower key is in the Light Palace, where normally the tower key would never be in the Light Palace because you need the tower key to get into Light Palace in the first place. But allow locked items kind of changes all that. So that's why you have to be careful with that flag, because if certain things get locked out of the seed, then you have to kind of play around that and you have to adjust. Like this seed is a perfect example. If, let's say, Luna was locked out of the seed, which we don't know, then you don't have that option against Mana Beast. If the boy was locked out of the seed, again, we don't know. We never got a hint for the boy anyway, so we never found him. If the boy was locked out of the seed, then you do not have access to mana magic strats against Mana Beast. You can't do it. Assuming the boy was locked out of the seed, which we don't know. But yeah, you kind of have to be careful on locked item seeds, especially when that is paired with hard complexity. Things can get pretty crazy depending on what gets locked out and where, and depending on where progression items are thanks to hard complexity. I don't think this was that bad of a seed, honestly, but it did require you to think, and it did require you to manage your MP. You have to manage your MP. That's the big thing, because if you don't, you're going to end up having to buy more walnuts. You're going to, having to end up leave and then sleep to get MP back. And that's why I say it's good to level up your spells. Thankfully, the seed gives you quite a bit of money for both armor and walnuts. And it's also good that you only had to use 2 characters, because honestly, if we found the boy, I would have reset out of him, because we already had a cutting weapon. We already had the whip. What do we need the boy for? We literally don't need the boy. If you have a cutting weapon, which we started out with one, and we found the whip for free, the boy most likely came with the javelin. We knew where the sword was, and we have every other weapon. So I would have 100% reset out of the boy if I found him, but we never found him because he's probably sitting someplace we never checked, or he's locked out of the seed. All right, anyway, 127.14 is our time for this seed of the week, number 234. Very interesting seed. I definitely want to see how the other runners tackled this. I really do. I'm interested to see how they ran this seed. What strategies they did. But yeah, I going Witch's Castle early was huge. Very huge. Eventually you have to do it anyway, but I feel as though if you have an axe start, I feel as though Witch's Castle is not even a bad play. It's really not. As long as you can handle the enemies, handle the boss. If you go in there with some kind of armor, which we did, so we weren't really in danger of dying in there. So, I mean, it is what it is, Sometimes you make ambitious plays and it pays off. Sometimes you make ambitious plays and they don't pay off. All right, it is Saturday as I am recording this video. This video is going to go up on Friday as they usually do. I'm actually going to put this time in right now and see where we stand. I don't know if other runners have completed the seed yet. 127.14. Ooh, nice. So far, one other runner has completed the seed. They got a 140.31. That's actually a good time, because I'm thinking maybe what they did was they did their freebies. They got their hints. I want to say they didn't do Witch's Castle early, which, I mean, you have no incentive to. But again, I just did it because I had an axe. I had decent defense. It's hard complexity, and there's a necessary hint sitting there early. You know, honestly, the necessary is one of those things where you kind of want to get to them as early as you can to make the most use out of them. So, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, so with that said, I will see you guys next time.